That's your winning face. I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did,
She'll make it right. She always does.
we have a fix on Carlisle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood,
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
She came home.
Carlisle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlisle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlisle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlisle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlisle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlisle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlisle keeps a case file on the Constant.
Okay.
Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlisle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlisle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlisle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlisle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Alright. Here we go. I'm guessing that's the PI right there. This is gonna let me
Phineas
inside.
Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlisle.
Okay.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlisle. Go right to
Jump in here. 2 guards, okay? Just 2 guards. I don't think there's anyone in front. Oh, guards won't be going now. No, I needed these guys like real quick. I needed these guys. Oh, nice distraction. Somebody come and get this, please. Somebody come and get this, please. Okay. We're ready for some choke. Hold on there. Come on, relax there. What's wrong with you? Don't you know it's a trap? Okay. Give me that screw. Drag him to the subway. Looking clean, bro. Oh, okay, the guy's in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlisle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself.
The butler.
A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlisle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlisle.
Okay. She's hot. Okay, getting her close. Someone is coming. Why is it not you're coming in now? Pass. Relax. Come on. What do you mean by no? Oh, the one is even downstairs.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice.
Madam!
A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well.
This guy.
I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlisle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've traveled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
No refreshments.
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out the current affairs surrounding Madame Carlisle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by a rather unusual situation.
Yeah, feeling good, bro.
I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlisle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlisle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlisle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this.
What do we have here?
Why
The
don't you use your
laptop.
camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Okay.
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
Yes, I do, man.
Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last
Yeah, I was
night.
checking for boots.
Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal.
Okay.
Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
Is there anything I can scan here? What is this guy doing? A full bottle of whiskey.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside.
Floor
A
plans.
photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Okay.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
That means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlisle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi.
Oh, you
I
are.
was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlisle.
Okay.
This is very useful information, 47.
This is the oldest, this is the firstborn. This is the second. And this is the third. Wife of the firstborn. Child of the firstborn. Butler.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47?
See this one.
Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe.
Patrick Carlisle.
May I suggest
Can
you
you
ask
tell
the
me where
suspects
you
for
were
alibi?
yesterday evening?
Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Sneaky butler, isn't he? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow...
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him.
Okay.
He could have done it.
So he's suspecting the butler?
Mr. Patrick, can I do anything for you?
Yes, actually. Could you speed up time so I don't die of boredom?
Okay, this is
Gregory
firstborn.
Carlisle, can you tell me where you were
Looking
yesterday
fresh.
evening?
Well, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here
So
with
he went out
Zachary,
with
my
the second
obnoxious
boy.
sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short
To
of it,
verify that story.
Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all? Not very...
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle.
Heavy.
But who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Nice.
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Okay. So I'm done with the firstborn. Madam.
Emma Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
So two people blaming the guy, son and Emma blaming the guy. Oh, this is the last one. This is the last one.
Rebecca Carlisle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner.
Okay.
You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Corbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon.
So the butler has come up here again.
And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlisle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
No, it's around. Okay. There's somebody's footprints. Probably a lady.
No power.
Where's the hatchets? Poison. Whatever the camera is here. Is there anything here?
Mary is so upset. And she's never seen a dead body before.
Poor thing.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, it's all too much.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will settle down soon.
Where's the second boy? Oh, look at him. Regarde, de toute façon, comment ça question.
Hi.
What is this one playing now? Come on, answer question, Joe.
Professor Edward Carlisle, can you tell me your
That's a nice
whereabouts for last night?
Oh,
It's a
yes,
lovely
this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor.
Clean-looking blazer.
Brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting, and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca, they had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning, or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy. And Mother will surely have strong opinion on it.
Hey,
Excuse me.
Hey, sorry, okay?
Yes, hi,
I
Cassie.
guess that's
It's
the
me
eulogy.
again. Edward.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to.
You talk to him real.
When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot.
Well,
That's what he is.
But he was such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
Would you mind taking a few steps away from me,
no one
please?
outside. Except
Oh,
Patrick's
yeah, be
mother,
going,
Emma.
be going.
We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide.
So,
You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will
Emma
you?
went to the greenhouse.
She'd insist Madame Carlisle fire me.
Okay.
I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
Okay. So, alibi confirmed for Patrick. Emma still has a question mark. Butler. Okay. Confirmed. Okay, so remain Rebecca, Emma, and the butler.
How are things coming along inside?
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
I think I can break this open. What's it open?
Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
Painkiller. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlisle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47?
No.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlisle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings.
No, let me look
Unless,
for
of
more.
course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
See this, see. See. Good. Obaka.
My parents would hate him.
And you're allowing him to hold you like that.
No way.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
This one? Okay, why should I tackle this? Let me break into this. Oh, that's the master key. Something is there.
A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
I think Emma and the butler are just the two.
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
So the mother witnessed Alexa and Zachary killing her husband. Anything else? Let me check this out. Let that open. Some loose right there. I think it should be the same size as what was on the ground. Matching the prints. Yes, outside the sitting room. Yep. So many things have I found now. This one is viable suspects. Clues found. Is there anything else I should know about?
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
Okay. I'll check our laptop.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Okay. So that means... Okay. Rebecca has been confirmed, she's safe. Just remaining these two. Man, this guy. He has to be one of them. There's no way. No way.
Depot number 5085. No, I need it immediately. Yes, I'll hold.
Nothing against standing. So just 1 and 2.
Did the portrait photographer check out? Verified his identity and everything?
Hello, sir. Okay.
Let's go check out that greenhouse.
Oh, stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
Why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's not rude.
So,
Stand up, please.
okay.
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was
I
recently
need a
used,
wrench.
though.
What is this? Yep, wrench. Let's go fix. Okay, grab the plant, produce poison. Okay. I'm guessing this is how the poison was created to kill him out.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlisle is next in line for a poisoning. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlisle that Emma is the murderer.
Yeah.
Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby. Unless you think there are more secrets to uncover.
Oga, como?
I'm ready to present my conclusions to Madame Carlisle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Okay, let's go.
Greetings, sir.
Where's guy walking
This is
like
Madame
this?
Carlisle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
Your niece, Emma Carlisle, murdered your brother Zachary.
My niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
And your niece. Emma is the illegitimate child of your late older brother, Montgomery, who you and Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who was the fiancée of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony. She believed you did it to steal the Carlisle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost. Marry your heir, Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlisle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlisles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from father. All heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison made from one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
More than you think. I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward you generously if you solved the case. So, what do you suggest?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Edwards, the Constant. But how do you... Oh, I see. I expected you might show up.
Now you understand that.
To kill me, not help me.
Now you know Alpha.
I've been wrong on so many things lately, so why not this one? I will give you the file on Edwards. You've earned it.
Just
I
like
don't
that.
suppose I could convince you to deal with my daughter-in-law now you're here.
No.
I would like to see her dead.
Do that yourself.
No? What a shame. I'll have to see to
This
it
guy's
some other
good.
way then.
Why is it shiny like this?
The file you want is in the safe. God, I hope you get Edwards and
Woo!
Good work, 47.
Why still have to kill
That's
this
the
woman?
file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlisle.
God, I hope you get Edwards and make him hurt. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Oh, she's really not. Yeah? Come on here!
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Okay, mission accomplished. Need to leave here ASAP. Where did she even drop from, sir? I'm guessing it's on the side.
They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine.
Oh boy.
Shit.
Leave, bro.